The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, accidentally live-streamed a meeting with private investors, which was a stunning and unanticipated turn of events. During the course of the talk, he disclosed Ripple's audacious and ambitious intention to destroy all 55 billion XRP that is now currently held in escrow in an irreversible manner. This revelation, which was captured on a Zoom screen recording that was blurry but allowed Brad's voice to be clearly heard during the recording, has caused shockwaves to sweep across the XRP community as well as the cryptocurrency market as a whole. The prospect that Ripple is getting ready to burn these tokens in a method that can be proven forever creates the potential for a turning moment for XRP and the individuals who are in possession of cryptocurrency. In the audio clip that was taken without permission, Brad Garlinghouse can be heard stating unequivocally that the escrow has successfully achieved the objective that it was designed to do. The destruction of everything is going to be our way of demonstrating our commitment to this cause. Undoubtedly, this assertion is of great importance. The members of the XRP community have expressed their significant concern about the escrow and the impact that the planned release of XRP tokens will have on the supply of the market and the volatility of prices over the course of several years. They have also expressed their concern about the escrow. Despite the fact that the escrow has been utilized as a means of limiting supply and offering investors a sense of certainty, it has never been able to solve the underlying issue of permanent scarcity itself. Through the live feed that was inadvertently published on the internet, Ripple is able to provide audience members with an intimate view behind the scenes into the company's internal thoughts. A carefully managed strategy to turn XRP from a token with a regulated supply into an asset that is truly deflationary is shown by the fact that Brad noted that Phase 3 will involve the whole breakdown of the escrow through a verifiable burn. This move is suggestive of the fact that the plan is being properly managed. There is a real sense of excitement among the community as a result of the fact that this burn would essentially reduce the entire supply of XRP by around half, hence establishing scarcity that has never been seen before in a major cryptocurrency. A comprehensive comprehension of the escrow is absolutely necessary in order to have a complete appreciation for the significance of this statement. Ripple released 55 billion XRP in monthly chunks in 2017 after placing it in escrow accounts for the purpose of holding it. In order to prevent the market from becoming oversaturated with XRP and to guarantee that a certain amount of price stability was maintained, this action was taken. It was never the objective of these tokens to flood the market. Rather, them were designed to serve as a reserve for Ripple's operational requirements. This was the intention from the beginning. If Ripple did not make use of the tokens, it was guaranteed that they would be returned to escrow in order to keep a consistent total supply. This was done in order to ensure that the total supply remained stable. Despite the fact that these tokens have not been harmed in any way, they have been included in the computations of the total amount of circulating tokens up until this moment. When these tokens are burned, they are sent to an address that can be validated cryptographically and where they are unable to be spent or accessed again. This location is where they are permanently destroyed. Consequently, they are permanently removed from the XRP ecosystem. As a result of this, not only is this a temporary lockout, but it is also a permanent annihilation of tokens, which ensures that a totally new time of scarcity will begin. Simply because of the fundamental economic notion of supply, when it comes to the variables that contribute to the appreciation of the value of any asset, it is without a doubt one of the most powerful aspects. In the event if there was a 50% decrease in supply, it is extremely probable that the existing price models, which typically take into account the quantity of XRP that is available, would be subjected to a full reevaluation. The mere fact that this piece of news has been reported has the potential to cause a significant increase in the amount of buying pressure among a big number of investors, which would lead to a very powerful surge in the XRP market. Particularly noteworthy is the fact that the statement made by Brad Garlinghouse on the burning of the escrow is a rather big message of confidence and commitment from Ripple. This is something that should be taken into consideration. It illustrates that the company is fully aligned with the goals of the XRP community, setting an emphasis on the creation of long-term value rather than short-term sales or, well, any type of market manipulation. This is a remarkable demonstration. When it comes to developing trust between Ripple and its followers, this congruence is among the most crucial criteria that must be considered. As a result of this, the idea that Ripple is truly invested in the success of XRP as a digital asset that is widely utilized and valuable is being strengthened. Furthermore, the discussion that was stolen from Ripple suggests that the business intends to carry out this burn in a manner that is open to scrutiny and can be verified. If you want to keep the faith of the market and maintain your honesty, it will be extremely important to make sure that the burn is public and can be proved in a way that can be demonstrated. Because of this, there will be less room for question or allegations of wrongdoing. Ripple's commitment to openness has the potential to set new standards in the cryptocurrency industry with regard to the manner in which large token burns are carried out and communicated. This is because Ripple is committed to transparency. Furthermore, this change places XRP in a position that sets it apart from other cryptocurrencies in the extremely competitive cryptocurrency market. As a consequence of ongoing token releases or mining incentives, a great number of tokens are susceptible to inflationary pressures, which, as you might anticipate, might result in a decline in the value of these tokens over the course of time. XRP, on the other hand, is transformed into a deflationary asset when it undergoes a permanent burn of this magnitude. This makes it more appealing to investors that place a high importance on scarcity and value retention during the investment process. In addition to the immediate implications on prices, it is essential to keep in mind that the potential influence extends far further than that. If institutional investors who have been following Ripple's legal and regulatory issues have been paying attention, there is a risk that they will view this burn plan as a sign of maturity and stability. The possibility exists that it will address one of the key concerns regarding the tokenomics of XRP, which is that the uncertainty around supply would increase. This is one of the primary issues. To add insult to injury, this has the potential to encourage a bigger number of institutional participation and investment. If I'm being completely honest with you, the reaction from the XRP community has been extremely good. Speculation, excitement, and anticipation are all rife across all of the social media platforms and internet forums. Of course, speculation is also quite prevalent. This idea that has been released is seen by a significant number of members of the community to be the realization of a long-held dream, a kind of holy grail moment for those who are in possession of XRP. As a matter of fact, this surge in community morale and togeth, the execution of a burn of this magnitude is going to require, careful planning and collaboration with validators on the XRP ledger in order to guarantee that the transaction is permanent and cannot be reversed. This is because the burn is going to be carried out in a manner that is going to be technically challenging. Ripple will be obliged to produce cryptographic proof, and it is feasible that they will even be required to collaborate with independent auditors in order to validate the burn. Both of these outcomes are possible. It is without a doubt necessary to have this level of precision in order to convince individuals who are dubious and to maintain confidence throughout the entirety of the XRP ecosystem. However, there are still some questions around the timing of this burn as well as the logistics that are involved. This is something that we are looking forward to. Is it possible that Ripple will start the burn in a single large transaction, or would it be slower and more progressive over the course of time? In the event that it is implemented in stages, what kind of effects will this have on Ripple's ability to use XRP for business reasons, as well as on their necessities for operations? These are unquestionably significant aspects that Ripple must take into consideration in order to achieve a balance between the utilization of scarce resources and the availability of resources. Furthermore, the legal and regulatory ramifications that might result from this fire are not something that should be handled lightly. A big decrease in the supply of tokens and the potential impact it could have on markets is something that authorities might look into. It is feasible that they will do these things. It is highly possible that Ripple's legal team will be involved in a considerable capacity in order to ensure compliance and to manage relatio ends with the relevant authorities. Because of this, they will be able to avoid misunderstandings or, as you may say, unpleasant emotional responses from regulatory authorities. This insight also causes Ripple to reevaluate its strategic orientation, which is another consequence of the revelation. Ripple is exhibiting its ambition to compete not only as a provider of payments technology, but also as a serious rival in the digital asset sector by increasing its emphasis on scarcity. This comes as a result of Ripple's decision to emphasize scarcity more. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that are widely known for their limited availability are Ripple's competitors in the cryptocurrency market. The unique value proposition of XRP, which combines speed, low cost, and the possibility of scarcity, has the potential to recast its position in the market.